All right, hello everybody. So here is your assignment for today. I've assigned a sort of a Google slide. It's a short little presentation, but it has all the instructions on it. I'm probably going to be giving you guys assignments like this because there's a lot of kids always kind of coming in late for whatever reason. Sometimes it's just their computer or their Wi-Fi is not working. So this would be a better way. You can kind of come back and watch the instructions in case you come in late. That way I don't have to explain myself multiple times. Okay, so here it is. Here's the learning target. The learning target is I can summarize a short story using all the plot elements. Okay, so we've talked about plot elements. We talked about exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and exposition. Okay, so but the kind of writing we're going to focus on just for the first couple of weeks here is summary, and then we'll get into more story narrative writing. But I want to make sure you guys know how to summarize. Okay, so summary. You guys know it's short. It communicates the main points of a text and has no personal opinions and uses your own words. Okay, so I don't want to hear how much you like the story or how much you like the movie. Okay, that's for like a review, but we're not doing reviews. We're just doing summaries. Okay, so remember we're going to use kind of the somebody wanted but so then format. Remember, you don't necessarily have to always use those words, but if you kind of get that in your mind, like who's the somebody? What did they want? Okay, but there had to be a problem. So what was the problem that arose? So what did they do about the problem? And then how did the story, what was the resolution? How did the story sort of resolve itself? Okay, components of a summary. It says introduce the title in quotes, the author and the genre if you can. If you can, we call it the tagline. TAG just means title, author, genre. So like it could be a short story. It could be a movie short. Okay, it could be science fiction, whatever it may be. Okay, so it says somebody. Choose a character, describe the main character, list their name. Okay, what did they want? Okay, what did they want? But what was the internal and external conflict? So is kind of where it leads to the climax. Like, what's the most exciting part of the story? How did the character try to solve the problem? How was it handled? Okay, and then describes the resolution, the end of the story, and how the conflict was resolved. Okay, then finally, include a theme. What's the message about life that is revealed to the reader in the story? And it says, make sure you maintain the same verb tense. A lot of you will go from past tense to present tense and then back to past tense. So try to use the same verse tenses. Also, try to write in third person point of view. Third person point of view. Use pronouns like he, she, her, him. Okay, and you could also use the character's name. Okay, and a summary word count should be approximately 60 to 80 words. We don't want to get into the 100, 200 word. That's not a summary. If it's too long and it goes on and on and on, that defeats the whole purpose of what a summary is. Okay, so what you guys are going to do today, well, remember in the Pixar short for the birds. So this is what we mean by title, author, and genre. Okay, the title. Okay, so for the birds. No, there was no author in this necessarily, but you could say Pixar. Okay, Pixar might be the author here. The genre, it's a short. It's like a short movie, a short film. Okay, and the Pixar short for the birds. Okay, an awkward large bird. Okay, that's the somebody. Tries to get the attention of some small birds that have landed on a power line. Okay, that kind of gives the setting. When they begin mocking and mimicking him, the large bird flies over to them and wants. Okay, so what do they want? He wanted to sit and be an accepted part of their group. Okay, but the small birds do not like this because he looks different and is not one of them. Okay, so here's the climactic part. The small birds begin pecking at the feet of the large bird until his last toe slips and he falls off the power line. Okay, then, so how did it end up? What was the resolution? Then all the small birds are catapulted off the power line and lose all their feathers in the process, while the large bird begins to laugh at them. They hide behind him in embarrassment. Okay, in the end, this is sort of the theme or the message. Small birds realize that just because somebody looks different than them, it doesn't give them the right to treat them cruelly. Okay, all right, so that's an example of a summary. So what I have for you guys is you guys are going to read a story called Dragon Dragon. All right, and there's an audio here you could actually listen to it. So what I would do is I would open the text first. Okay, so make sure that works. So here is the text called Dragon Dragon. Scroll down, and it starts right here. There was once a king whose kingdom was plagued by a dragon. Okay, so I would do that, and then what you write here, you're going to click on this button, and it's going to have an audio. So it's 21 minutes long. You're going to listen to it. So when you click on the little play button,
Dragon Dragon by John Gardner. There was once a king whose kingdom was plagued by a dragon.
okay, I'm not going to play the whole thing. You guys can listen to that. The guy has a kind of a funny, interesting voice. And you'll notice that what you guys probably know about dragon stories, there's a lot of elements of, these fairy tales, but kind of know something about this story. It's it's kind of a funny story. When you guys have heard dragon stories, there's always elements of, say, a princess or a prince trying to win the princess hand in marriage. So this has a lot of those elements. Okay, so but you'll notice though it's written in sort of a humorous way. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to listen to the text. Okay, follow along to the text. After you're done with that, the next slide I want you to work on is this one. This has a someone wanted but so then. And what you do is you're going to click on the box, and I want you to sort of fill in each box. Who was the someone? Okay. What did they want? Okay. What was the problem? Okay. So what happened? What was sort of the climax? And then how did the story end up? So remember, you're going to kind of take this from the point of view, if you're trying to explain this to someone who's never heard the story, like if your parents said, "Oh, what'd you do today?" "I listened to a story called Dragon Dragon." "Oh, what was it about?" Could you sum it up for them, in a relatively short amount of time? Just give them who the main character was, what did they want, what was the problem, okay, and so what was the climax, and then how did the story sort of end? And then finally, what you're going to do is on here, you're going to write your summary. So if you click on the box, you should be able to start just typing into the summary box. Hopefully it works. Okay, and then I believe since it's a Google Doc, you're going to just turn it in. Okay, so that will be your assignment today for language arts. Okay, so this is again, we're working on summary writing. And I'll be here to help you with any questions that you might have. Okay.